would have been a push for her to become the next president and amend the Constitution. So she could be. But they
of Sunny Hostin on The View, Tom, basically implicating her husband in this type of a...
Sunny Hostin, one of the most talked about personalities on daytime television, has recently found herself at the center of a controversy that has shocked audiences and drawn sharp criticism from many. Known for her fiery rhetoric and unwavering support for social justice, she has earned a reputation as a bold, unapologetic co-host on The View. Whether she's speaking out against systemic inequality or advocating for reparations, Sunny has become a powerful figure, a voice for the marginalized, and an outspoken challenger of entrenched power structures. She's never been one to shy away from stirring up debate or controversy.
One thing, and I would have even actually not give her any is she said, well, I guess that's just what they did back then.
Yeah.
She should have followed that up with saying something along the lines of, and I understand that that's a departure from the way I've talked about this before. That was to me, the one thing that was missing.
What happens when a moral crusader's past resurfaces to challenge their credibility? That's exactly what transpired when Sunny chose to appear on PBS's Finding Your Roots, a show that delves into the genealogical histories of celebrities. What was meant to be a heartfelt journey into her heritage quickly spiraled into a stunning revelation, leaving both Sunny and the public in disbelief.
Exactly, because if she is shaming descendants of this, will she continue to do that when she is now one of them, Dana? And it is funny, she's so wrapped up in identity and she had no idea who she was.
Let's set the stage. Sunny Hostin has long made headlines for her strong opinions on racial justice and equality. She's been an outspoken advocate for reparations, arguing that descendants of enslaved people are owed compensation for the enduring systemic injustices they've faced for generations. On The View, she's often at the forefront of heated debates, calling out racial hypocrisy and privilege. Her voice holds weight in these discussions, and she's never one to back down or soften her words. Sunny has built her career on confronting uncomfortable truths, at least when those truths involve others. But as it turns out, even Sunny wasn't prepared for the skeletons hiding in her own family closet. In her much-anticipated appearance on PBS's Finding Your Roots, a show dedicated to uncovering celebrity ancestry, Sunny sat across from renowned genealogist Henry Louis Gates Jr., eager to learn about her family history. Known for her strong stance on reparations and her criticism of white privilege, Sunny probably expected a mix of inspiring stories and maybe a few surprising facts. What she got, however, was a bombshell that no one could have predicted. Gates revealed that Sunny's ancestors weren't just immigrants or marginalized figures. They were slaveholders, individuals who profited directly from the very system Sunny has spent years denouncing. The revelation hit hard. The usually composed and confident Sunny was visibly shaken, her face a mix of disbelief and awkward silence. "I didn't think my family was originally from Spain or slaveholders," she stammered, struggling to process the shock. It was a rare moment of vulnerability for someone who's typically quick with a sharp retort or a well-prepared argument. The room fell silent, the weight of the moment undeniable. Already been done. For someone who has been so vocal about holding others accountable for the sins of their ancestors, this twist was completely unexpected.
Today's video comes to us from Sunny Hostin. Sounds like a town. We're in Sunny Hostin. She was on PBS's Finding Your Roots, a show dedicated to researching celebrity ancestry. For context, Sunny is a staunch supporter of reparations and has made a fortune spewing nonsense about white privilege and racial justice.
Sunny's immediate response to the revelation, to put it mildly, was underwhelming. Rather than taking a moment to reflect or show any sign of remorse, she brushed it off as just another fact of life. "I think it's actually pretty interesting that my husband and I have shared roots," she said, attempting to steer the conversation toward her family's connection. It felt like a deflection, and many viewers were left disappointed, expecting more introspection from someone so vocal about historical accountability. Critics quickly pointed out the irony. Here was a woman who had built her career on calling out others for their privilege and complicity, now faced with undeniable proof of her own family's direct involvement in one of history's greatest injustices.
Wow. I'm a little bit in shock. I just always thought of myself as Puerto Rican, half Puerto Rican. I didn't think I was, my family was originally from Spain and slaveholders.
The internet, of course, wasted no time reacting. Social media platforms exploded with memes, jokes, and sharp commentary. One viral tweet sarcastically declared, "Sunny Hostin finding out her family were slaveholders is the plot twist of the eye." Here, another quipped, "Reparations? Let me write that check to myself real quick." The memes were ruthless, with one depicting Sunny in a mock family tree labeled Roots of Hypocrisy. While some fans defended her, arguing that she shouldn't be blamed for the actions of her ancestors, others weren't so forgiving. "It's not about blaming her for what her ancestors did," one commenter wrote. "It's about the hypocrisy of shaming others while ignoring the skeletons in your own closet." Then, of course, there was Greg Gutfeld. The outspoken television host and commentator seized the opportunity to criticize Sunny and what he saw as her apparent double standards. He compared the revelation about Sunny's slaveholding ancestors to the irony of a vegan secretly owning a barbecue joint, a remark that drew laughter from the audience. Gutfeld went on to dissect what he described as Sunny's lack of accountability, suggesting that rather than addressing her family's history directly, she seemed more focused on deflecting and moving on. He added that the next time Sunny brought up issues of race on The View, someone might remind her of her own family's past, using humor and scorn to drive the point home.
So how are you feeling, my friend?
I think it's actually pretty interesting that my husband and I have shared roots.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that. And I think it's great for our children to know this information. I guess it's a fact of life that this is how some people made their living, on the backs of others.
The fallout didn't stop with Sunny's personal history. In the days following the revelation, rumors began to swirl about the potential influence her husband, Emmanuel Hostin, might have on her views and public persona. Some critics speculated that Sunny's outspoken stance on racial justice was partially shaped, or even dictated by her husband, a well-known orthopedic surgeon who has faced his own share of controversy. This wasn't the first time accusations of hypocrisy had been directed at the couple, and the timing of these rumors couldn't have been worse for Sunny. The suggestion that she might be parroting someone else's beliefs, rather than speaking from her own convictions, only fueled the growing controversy.
You're right. Anytime she says something stupid, I'm going to go, slave owner!
If anything, the scandal has highlighted a glaring double standard in how Sunny approaches accountability on The View. She is quick to condemn public figures for their past actions, often framing them within the context of systemic injustice. Yet, when confronted with her own family's complicity in that very system, her response was, at best, dismissive. Critics argue that this lack of introspection undermines her credibility and raises questions about whether she is truly committed to the principles she so passionately defends.
Well, now we understand why she always makes Whoopi get the coffee. That's not true.
That's not true.
But you think about things that she said and how offensive they are.
Yeah.
Even her co-hosts on The View seemed uncertain about how to handle the situation. Whoopi Goldberg, known for her quick wit and biting humor, reportedly held back a joke about Sunny's newfound heritage, perhaps sensing that the moment was too sensitive to joke about. Joy Behar, never one to shy away from controversy, allegedly remarked off-camera that Sunny's reaction was a missed opportunity to spark a meaningful conversation about historical accountability. The tension within the group was palpable, with some speculating that the scandal could strain Sunny's relationships with her fellow co-hosts.
We know Sunny Hostin and her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, are preparing for a legal battle to fight accusations that he committed federal insurance.
As the dust began to settle, the bigger question emerged. What does this mean for Sunny's future? Will she use this moment as an opportunity for growth and reflection, or will she continue to deflect and dismiss? Critics argue that her response, or lack thereof, could have lasting implications for her career. After all, audiences expect a certain level of authenticity from public figures, especially those who position themselves as moral authorities. By failing to address her own family's history with the same rigor she applies to others, Sunny risks alienating the very audience that has supported her for so long. The fallout from Sunny Hostin's ancestral revelations and the ongoing controversies was only the beginning. What followed was a cascade of rumors, lawsuits, and whispers that she might be on the verge of being ousted from The View, a show known for its passionate debates and fiery exchanges. Once a celebrated voice for change on the panel, Sunny now finds herself at the center of a storm of scandal, legal drama, and public backlash. The question on everyone's mind is simple. Has Sunny Hostin crossed the point of no return?
And they're essentially saying that it's a money grab. And they're also going to countersue for millions of dollars, $5 million plus.
Rumors about Sunny's potential departure from The View began quietly, but quickly gained traction within entertainment circles. Sources close to the production claimed there were growing concerns behind the scenes about Sunny's increasing list of controversies, from her husband's legal troubles to the scrutiny surrounding her family history. It's no secret that The View thrives on the chemistry and diversity of its co-hosts, but even the most successful formulas can crack under the weight of too much negative attention. Sunny's increasingly polarizing presence might be testing the limits. One source, who allegedly works closely with the show's producers, suggested that Sunny's outspoken nature and recent scandals have made her a liability. Sunny has always pushed boundaries, but this time it's different, the insider reportedly said. There's a sense that she's bringing more trouble than she's worth. The producers are worried that the backlash from viewers and the lawsuits could damage the show's reputation. If that's true, the stakes couldn't be higher for Sunny, who has been a co-host since 2016 and has built much of her public brand on the platform's massive reach.
Oh, he was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services in exchange.
And speaking of lawsuits, let's talk about the growing legal mess surrounding The View, with Sunny often at the center. One of the most jaw-dropping cases involves none other than Melania Trump. Yes, you read that right. Former First Lady Melania Trump is reportedly suing The View and Sunny Hostin for defamation over comments made about her personal life and her relationship with Donald Trump. It all began with Sunny's infamous remarks during a segment on the show, where she speculated that Melania hated her husband and wanted to take him out. While the comment was clearly intended to be lighthearted, Melania's legal team didn't see it that way.
Now, here's some news for you. The former First Lady has been noticeably absent on her husband's camp.
According to insider reports, Melania Trump's lawsuit alleges that Sunny's remarks were not only false, but also intended to damage her reputation. Her legal team is said to be seeking a staggering sum in damages, with some rumors suggesting it could be in the hundreds of millions. But here's the kicker. Melania isn't just targeting Sunny. The lawsuit reportedly names the entire production team of The View, as well as ABC, for allowing what her lawyers describe as reckless and defamatory statements to air. Whether or not the case has merit, the sheer spectacle of it has been enough to keep The View and Sunny in the headlines. And Melania isn't the only one taking legal action. Over the past year, the show has faced a string of lawsuits, many of which seem to stem from Sunny's fiery commentary. Critics have accused her of crossing the line between opinion and defamation on multiple occasions, and some of those accusations have turned into full-blown legal battles. One particularly high-profile case involves a prominent New York surgeon who claims that Sunny's comments about the healthcare industry were not only inaccurate, but also damaging to his professional reputation. This lawsuit, which reportedly seeks millions in damages, has added yet another layer of tension to an already precarious situation for the show.
We haven't seen her, and her description of Donald Trump doesn't track with the reality of what we've seen. And I can't relate to the marriage or if they're even in the same place at the same time. So I don't think that's the...
For Sunny, the legal troubles extend beyond The View. Her husband, Emmanuel Hostin, is currently caught up in a massive lawsuit of his own, and the details are nothing short of dramatic. Emmanuel, a well-known orthopedic surgeon, has been named as one of 200 defendants in a federal case brought by American Transit, a commercial insurance company. The lawsuit alleges that Hostin and others were involved in fraudulent billing practices, including performing unnecessary surgeries and pocketing kickbacks disguised as dividends. If the allegations are true, the financial fallout could be devastating, not to mention the potential damage to Sunny's already embattled public image.
It does not look well when your name ends up with 200 people in a RICO investigation. This is the biggest investigation since Giuliani shook the tree and a bunch of mobsters fell out, right? This is big stuff. And so, and thank you for bringing that video. It sure is ironic that she's up there. So,
in response to the lawsuit, Sunny has come out swinging, publicly defending her husband and accusing American Transit of launching a smear campaign against her family. This company has a history of filing frivolous claims, Sunny said in a statement, doubling down on her belief that the lawsuit is baseless. She even went so far as to threaten a counter-lawsuit for defamation, claiming that American Transit has exploited her celebrity status to tarnish her family's reputation. However, critics were quick to point out the irony of Sunny, who has built her brand on holding others accountable, now finding herself on the defensive.
Totally different perspective on this. I don't really know what happened with this. The facts will come out. What I have a problem with is the core of who this woman is. Unlike you, I don't watch The View, bro. All I do is see clips.
It's just like twice a day.
But here's all I hear from her. America's violent, America's racist, America's bad. Okay.
The timing of Sunny's legal troubles couldn't be worse, especially with rumors swirling that the producers of The View are considering a shakeup. Some insiders believe her involvement in these high-profile scandals has become a distraction, pulling focus away from the show's mission of addressing important issues and engaging viewers in meaningful discussions. The show is bigger than any one person, one source reportedly said. If Sunny's controversies start to overshadow the show itself, it might be time for a change. Adding fuel to the fire are whispers that Sunny's co-hosts aren't exactly thrilled with the attention her scandals are bringing to the show. While The View has always thrived on spirited debate, there's a fine line between healthy disagreement and outright division, and Sunny's recent controversies might be pushing that line too far. Reports suggest tensions have been simmering behind the scenes, with some co-hosts allegedly feeling that Sunny's personal drama is starting to take a toll on the group dynamic. Whether these rumors are true or just tabloid gossip, they've only heightened the sense that Sunny's position on the show may not be as secure as it once was.
But it's just, I mean, Pat, you're married. Tom, you're married. If your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives were up to.
And yet, despite all the controversy and criticism, Sunny remains defiant. In a recent interview, she dismissed rumors of her departure as completely unfounded and insisted she has no plans to leave The View anytime soon. "I'm committed to having the tough conversations that this country needs," she said. "I'm not going anywhere." But even as she puts on a brave face, the question remains, how long can Sunny continue to weather this storm? With lawsuits piling up, public opinion increasingly divided, and her future on The View now uncertain, it feels more unpredictable than ever. At this point, it's impossible to say what the future holds for Sunny Hostin. Will she emerge from this scandal stronger than ever, or will the weight of her controversies ultimately prove too much to bear? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and stay tuned for more updates on this ever-evolving story.